Greetings, folks. This is the BlackWeasel, and today is One Piece chapter 866. The name of the chapter is called Natural Born Destroyer. Now, I'm talking once again in my low voice because it is 4:39 a.m. in the morning, so I don't want to wake up my mom right now, and so this is why I'm talking in a low voice. Let's see here. Alright. This is after a 1 week break from Golden Week, and we're just now back into the regular schedule. And this is volume 3 of Cavendish, Prince of the Borgias. We're dropping in on our lives of the Grand Straw Hat Pirates Fleet. So this is volume 3 right now, and we have Cavendish, Prince of the Borgias Kingdom. It's so popular that not a single young woman in the country has married. That makes sense because they're all falling for him. Like, they only want to save themselves for them in the end. I mean, for Cavendish in the end, since he's apparently so good looking. So yeah, they're all crying, weeping, and a police officer is holding a young woman. And we have a fan art of the Straw Hats, and they're making weird faces like Chopper, Capone, Gang, Biggie, Luffy, Sanji, Vito, Brooke, Pedro, Caesar, Jimmy, and Gotti. Done by Superhero. We have another fan art. Anyways, the chapter starts off with a narration. The narrator says, "This is the island where that most famous race of giants, the warriors ELBAF, live." And starts off as a young Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin, as a 5-year-old human. And she asks, "Where are we? Where are Mommy and the others going?" And the person responds to her, "Daddy's got some work around here, Linlin. Will you be a good girl and wait for me?" And Linlin says, "Aw, I want to go too." And the person says, "In exchange, we'll let you eat as many candies from your knapsack as you want." And the other person says, "Yes, we will." And Charlotte Linlin says, "What? All of them? Then I'll wait. I'm waiting." Yeah, she's a big girl. Anyways, Linlin is waving goodbye, and another person says, "No, Linlin," and another person says, "Quit crying already. She caused so many casualties. It's a miracle we were able to get away with just sending her out of the country. We can't deal with that child. The Holy Mother, they say, resides in these lands, will surely save Linlin." And another person says, "We're saying off now. We can't stay in these dangerous waters for long." And Linlin says, "Whoa, there's so many there's so many huge fish here, and apparently those fishes are all jumping around a big ship." Yeah, they're all jumping around a big ship and causing a bunch of ruckus. And the scene has changed towards nighttime, towards the snowy nighttime. Charlotte Linlin saying, "This is weird. They're so late. I'm hungry." And she's crying out, "Papa, Mama." And we have a background scene of a sea otter or a sea lion chop eating up a fish. And the narrator is saying, "One can scarcely speak of ELBAF without mentioning that some 100 years ago, the giant warriors that terrorized the world, the giant soldier power crew suddenly lost their 2 captains. It's a legend." Yep, I remember those guys, Dory and Broggy. They were duking it out somewhere on Little Garden. That's where we last saw them. But that was the man, bringing back so many memories of reading about the chapter a long time ago. Anyways, the narratives continue on. Not long after, having lost their leader, several stragglers of the crew let down their guard and were captured by the Marines as they stood at the gallows. And we have a scene of the Marines getting ready to execute the captured giants. Man, dang, that's bogus as hell. And the narrator says, a wandering beautiful woman of the cloth appeared. Oops. Anyways, this girl says, "Stop! The heavens cry for peace." And it turns out that her name was Sister Caramel. So she must be a priest of some kind. You know how those kind of priests or nuns always, those kind of priests, they always want peace in everybody, even though most of the times those bad people are generally bad to begin with. And one of the Marines yelled out, "The heavens? The hell are you on about? Have you any idea terror these monsters have inflicted on this world?" And Sister Caramel is yelling out, "All the more reason. Why do you not see it?" And the narrator says, at that very moment, dark clouds cover the sky. And it starts to rain, and all the people who are looking at the execution, they're all getting wet. And Sister Caramel says, "If you kill these men, the warriors of ELBAF will yet again take up arms. They will swear a revenge against humanity. Forgive their sins. I will lead them unto a world where the many peoples of this earth can join hands and smile together as one." And it turns out that one of the giants was starting to cry as his life was about to be spared. And Sister Caramel, the narrator is saying, Caramel eventually came to be called Holy Mother or just Mother, and with no regard for race or class. Took in children that had nowhere else to go, she opened a home called the Lamb's House. Huh. That reminds me of Whitebeard, and it reminds me of Mother Teresa in real life. Anyways, the narrator says, and on the island that the giants call home ELBAF, she devoted her life to building a bridge of friendship between man and giants. And Caramel says, "You'll be okay now, Lillian. Come be friends with all of us until your mother and father come back." And we have a bunch of comments like from the children. One of them's yelling out, "They ain't coming back, idiot." Another person says, "They dumped you here like a load of garbage." And the narrator says, 37 years since that day, we are at the Lamb's house. And Mother Caramel says, "Everyone's here a bit unique, but..." And another person says, "Unique enough for their parents to not want them. Ha 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 ha." Wow, that's bogus as hell. This is like a regular orphanage where a bunch of kids are cruel to each other. Anyways, Caramel says, "You should be able to befriend them in no time." And we have a character introduction of Mother Caramel, 80 years old, and the children of the Lamb's house. We have a bunch of weird characters. Yep, I don't know what to describe them, but they are the children of the Lamb house. And Charlotte Linden says, "Okay, thanks. I'm so hungry." And one of the children gets surprised as hell. They say, "You're freaking huge. Are you a giant or something?" And then Mother Caramel says, "Well, let's have some food then." And there was the narrator continues to explain, a prince driven out of his country by riots and revolutions, children forced into near slavery by poverty, problem children recalcitrant beyond even the patience of their parents. Here these young ones could live amongst the giants, unfettered by stylish old lineage. And one of the children asks, "A new girl?" And the narrator says, but above all, Lillian, who had spent her whole life being bigger than everyone around her, first saw in ELBAF people, houses, and scenery that seemed made for her size. It was an indescribably comforting feeling. And Lillian yells out, "Whoa!" So right now the narrator explaining how these children end up in Mother Lamb's house. Mother Caramel's house, the Lamb house. And the scene changes, and Charlotte Lynn starts crying. She says, "Why? Why? Wah?" And she starts crying. And Caramel says, "Oh no, what's the matter, Lillian?" And Lillian says, "Mother, Mr. Bear and Mr. Wolf were fighting in the forest. And because it's not good to fight, I decided I needed them to make them be friends. So I put them in the same cage." And apparently, one bear died right in front of her. And Caramel's looking at the dead bear. And Lillian says, "But that silly Mr. Bear ate Mr. Wolf. And because he was being bad, I gave Mr. Bear a spanky." And Caramel says, "Looks like Mr. Bear is thinking hard about what he did wrong. How many times did you spank him?" And Lillian says, "Just once." And Mother Caramel says, "She killed it instantly." Oh my God, Big Mom is very, very strong. And Mother Caramel says, "You wanted both of them to be friends, didn't you? You're such a kind girl, Lillian." And Charlotte Lillian says, "Yes, And the narrator says, of all the people Lillian had met in her life, this was the first that actually understood her. That's what the narrator says. And the scene changes, and a bunch of kids are started talking. They say, "I saw it. Lillian killed that bear in one hit. She's crazy. Did you hear? She got into a huge fight with Yuri. Apparently there was a mosquito on him, so she tried to smack it. She broke a bunch of his bones." What the heck? This is ridiculous. And Caramel's yelling out. The scene changes, and the Caramel's yelling out, "What are you doing, Lillian?" And it turns out Lillian is holding one of the children, and one of the children's yelling out, "Yeah, save me, mother!" And Lillian says, "He has one extra joint, so I thought I'd tear that extra bit off of him." Oh, what the heck? That's bogus as hell. He has an extra joint. Who gives a shit? And Mother Caramel says, "No, he's from the long arm tribe. That's how he's supposed to be." And Charlotte Lillian says, "He has fins, so I thought I'd just rip him off for him." And Mother Caramel gets angry, and she yells out, "No, the mer people look like fish. That's how they're supposed to be." And Caramel says, "Everyone forgive her. Lillian is a kind girl." And the narrator explains, Caramel forgave everything she did. And the scene changes, and we go 10 months later after the events of Lillian staying in the Lamb house. And the scene, and the narrator explains, New World. We had the New World, the Warland, ELBAF. The great warriors of the land took Lillian in with tolerance and generosity. And one of the giants is saying, "It's nearing 40 years. Have you heard of a duel that takes that long?" And Lillian says, wait for me." And what? And one of the giants says, "I feel you. Say we give them 10 more years, and then go get them." And then we have the giants talking among each other, and Lillian's chasing after one of the girls. And one of the girls yelling out, "Lillian's gonna kill us." And one of the giants says, "Yo, Lillian, are you and your friends ready?" Oh, I remember there's giants. These are Karshi and Omo. And Lillian says, "For what, Karshi? What do you mean ready?" And one of the little kids says, "Isn't this your first time, Lillian?" And one of the little girls says, in ELBAF, until the Winter Solstice Festival, we fast for 12 days. And Lillian asks, fast? She asks, fast? And the little girl says, we don't eat anything. The only thing that can pass your lips is water. The 12 days start tomorrow. Eh? And Lillian says, eh? And Charlotte Lillian says, I'm gonna get so hungry. And the little girl says, but if you just bear that for a little, you get to enjoy the festival. And somebody yells out, fight with yourself, Hard Rugen. And we have a scene of Hard Rugen falling to the ground. Ooh, we get to see Hard Rugen. I haven't seen him since the Dressrosa arc. And Hard Rugen says, one day either Dory or Rocky will return. They will revive the giant warrior pirates. And somebody says, it's that violent kid. And another one of the giant pirates yell out, you are a warrior, keep fighting, Hard Rugen. And Hard Rugen says, okay. And we have, and somebody yells out, and somebody laughs in a weird way. He laughs like this, zabababa. It's funny as hell. And another person says, boy, ja, ja, ja. And another person yells out, Lord Fallbeard, Lord Mountbeard. And we have a character introduction of Yorl Fallbeard and Jarl Mountbeard. And good grief, these guys are very old. They are 344 years old, and that's how old Fallbeard is. And Jarl Mountbeard is 345 years old. And these are the former captains of the giant warrior pirates. And these guys are the oldest warriors in the world, heroes of the giants peoples. And Mountbeard says, Carabal and her talk of trade are all well and good, but we mustn't forget the way of the warrior. And Hard Rugen says, Lord Yorl, they are so cool. All giant folk respect those two warriors. And Kashi asks, why are the two of you here in town today? And Fabio says, we come to call the children of town. It's time to eat a simma. And he also says, good to see you here, Lillian. And Charlotte Lillian asks, Simla? And one of the little girls says, it's a sweet and super delicious dessert. Right before the fast, we eat Simla to gain our nutrients. And Lillian says, are we going to eat it now? That sweet dessert? And the little girl says, they stuff a sweet dough made with marzipan with whipped cream and cover the top with powdered sugar. It's a final treat before the fast. And Lillian and the little girl mouth start watering. And it looks like they're very hungry right now. Anyways, another person says, for Prince Loki, who was born just the other day in the castle, and for Royal Golden Bog, we thank the sun for the growth of our children. And one person is yelling out, yay, Simla! And Lillian yells out, yummy! And the other person says, we got plenty, so eat up. And Lillian eats the Simla, and she yells out, sweet! It's so good! And Lillian says, I'm so happy. And Charlotte Lillian starts eating all the Simla. She yells out, it's delicious, delicious, yummy, yummy. And one of the other giants started yelling out, wait, Lillian. Another giant says, you can't eat them at that speed. We're not going to have enough to go around. And Lillian says, yummy, Simla, so yummy. And she keeps chomping down all the Simla, and the other giants don't have enough to go around. And the scene changes, and we are on the third day of the fast. And Lillian says, "Mother, I'm so hungry. I feel like I'm gonna die." And Caramel says, "The winter solstice festival celebrates the death and rebirth of the sun. The sun will pass through the harsh winter, and will once again warm us with its benevolent light." And the scene changes, and we're on the fourth day of the fast. And Lillian says, "The more it hurts, the deeper your gratitude to the sun would be." Oh, that's what Caramel says. And Lillian says, "If Mother says so, I will try." And the narrator says, Lillian had come to love Mother with all her heart. And Lillian says, "I'm so thin now." And other people says, "You haven't changed at all." And oh shit, I'm running low on battery. And we're on the sixth day, and Lillian says, "That still so delicious. I want to eat some now." And we're on the seventh day, and one of the girls is running towards Mother Caramel. She yells out, "This is horrible. Mother, help." And Mother Caramel says, "What is the matter, Girth?" And Girth says, "It's Lillian." And Mother Caramel is looking over, and Charlotte Lillian yells out, "Simla!" Oh shit. And Mother Caramel says, "My God, Lillian." And Lillian's having it falling down. She says, "Bring Simla, Simla, rah." And Lillian's destroyed the village of ELBAF. And another person says, "This is a nightmare." And Mother Caramel says, Falbio says, "You've finally gone and done it, Lillian. You have no right to be able to thankful to the sun. There's a limit to how much we can give, even for a child." And another person yells out, "Lord, y'all." And Lord, y'all is getting ready to kill Charlotte Lillian. And she's getting ready to kill Charlotte Lillian. And that's the end of chapter 866. And I'm really low on battery. Fuck. Alright, that's the end.